Here is your latest African news. Mali military government warns Denmark and France against internal interference. Mali's government has advised France's Defense Minister Florence Parly to observe the greatness of silence after she accused the army leadership of provocation. In an interview broadcast on state TV, military spokesman Colonel Abdoulaye Maïga also accused France of colonial reflexes and of using regional organizations to divide Malians. Relations between Mali's ruling military and France have worsened since the army seized power in a coup in August 2020. But tensions have risen since December when the East African bloc ECOWAS imposed sanctions including a trade embargo and border closures on the conflict-torn nation. The military spokesman also repeated a demand that Denmark withdraw its troops which have arrived in Mali to join the French-led Tabuka force of European Special Forces. Malawi president excludes party officials from new cabinet. Malawi's president Lazarus Chakwera has named what he calls a partial cabinet in which he has left out several senior members. President Chakwera dissolved his entire cabinet earlier this week amid a public outcry over corruption, saying he was taking the decision to confront all forms of lawless conduct by public officials. In total, 8 ministers were retained and 2 new appointments were made. President Chakwera also departed from the tradition of including his own name and that of his vice in the cabinet list. President Chakwera's first cabinet had 31 members. It is expected he will name more ministers in due course. The opposition Democratic Progressive Party has asked the president to reduce the size of its cabinet from 31 to less than 20 ministers. Anti-government protests have been held since last November to condemn the rising cost of living and allegations of nepotism and corruption. South Africa. Scopa will not summon Ramaphosa. Parliament Standing Committee on Public Accounts, Scopa, has decided not to summon President Cyril Ramaphosa to appear to provide information on the leaked audio recording. Parliament's legal service and various committee members have agreed that a summons should be the last resort. This comes after African National Congress ANC Member of Parliament Mervyn Dykes requested Scopa to summon Ramaphosa to appear before the committee. Dykes wants the president to share information about his knowledge of the alleged misuse of public funds for political party activities. A parliamentary committee has the power to summon any person to appear before it when required to do so. Section 58 of the Constitution makes provision for the National Assembly or any of its parliament committees to summon anyone to provide information. Rwanda to reopen the border with Uganda after 2 years. Rwanda has announced that its main border with Uganda that was closed in 2019 will reopen. Cross-border movement of people and goods at the Gatuna or Katuna border was barred over tension between the two East African nations. Only goods were allowed in through the other 2 borders, Chinyika and Gakitumba. The reopening was announced after President Yoweri Museveni's son, Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, met President Paul Kagame in Rwanda. Rwanda had accused Uganda of arresting and deporting its citizens and supporting rebels from the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda. The Ugandan government denied the allegations and instead accused Rwanda of infiltrating its security agencies. Namibia. Nama Ovaherero petition new German government. The Nama and Ovaherero representatives have petitioned Germany's new foreign minister, Annalena Baerbock, calling her to restart what they termed as a failed German-Namibia intergovernmental negotiations on the genocide of their ancestors. The petition is seeking 500 signatures, and by yesterday afternoon, it had collected 355 signatures. In June last year, the German government had acknowledged the mass killings and agreed that Germany would apologize for the genocide and extend financial assistance of $1.1 billion in project funding over 30 years to the descendants of affected communities. However, the majority of the affected communities, including opposition members of parliament, feel that Germany must do more to atone for its sins. The group added that Germany boasts of its self-critical culture of remembrance, especially regarding the commemoration of the Holocaust, and should show the same sentiment to the genocide they committed to the Ovaherero and Nama. Southern Africa. Zambia's president visits South Africa to discuss trade and security. Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema arrived this week in South Africa to discuss security and trade between the two nations. Hichilema has met with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, who is currently chair of the SADC, on matters of politics, defense, and security cooperation. This is the 9th trip abroad from the Zambian president since taking office last August. Zambia's opposition has criticized the visit, questioning the president's motives after he described it as a courtesy call. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share and like this video. It's the best way of supporting us. Also, don't forget to catch Season 2 of Startup Africa every Thursday with Pamela Nga on our channel. You can directly support this new series by becoming our YouTube member or becoming a Patreon and donating. And remember, Africa is watching.